So guys, it's Gabriel Stone, political activist. Today we're going to be talking about Fidel Castro and Cuba and Che Guevara and the July movement in general. In Cuba at that time, the Movimiento. So my thoughts on this whole communism crap and this whole socialism trip is that I think that Cuba does not need to be an enemy. Even to this day, Cuba does not need to be an enemy. I think that this is what I will say about the Marxist-Leninist model, is that it united people together. But what I disagree with Marxist-Leninism is that it focuses too much on government bureaucracy. So I think the way we could have a socialist movement here in the United States is one that's democratic, number one. Number two, has private enterprise. And number three, has a strong market economy. So what I believe about Castro is that I currently do not, well, I'll say this about Castro, is that he looks a lot like me with a beard. But, and so does Che Guevara. But one thing I will say about Cuba is that they are a strong people, they are egalitarian people, and they are a proud people. And I think that that Cuba, because the thing about Marxist-Leninist model is that Marxist-Leninism doesn't rely on imported goods mostly. It mostly requires state control and collectives. So when I try to tell people I'm not fully a Marxist-Leninist, people say, "Oh, you're a communist." That's how they are in the United States. But I'll say this about Castro and his guerrilla force back in the 1950s and early 60s, is that they were successful. I mean, they were successful. They were on the people's side, and they were different from the Stalinists and Maoists in that they didn't have a huge country at their disposal, and they still stayed in power for almost 50 years, I think. It's crazy. But I think that because I'm on my Castro trip right now, going this beard, all I need is a Cuban cigar. I have an invisible Cuban cigar. But yeah, so I think that Cuba is a very proud people, and I hope that America will improve relations with the Cuban nation. And I think that that Cuba is very just very strong people, very egalitarian people for the revolution. And I hope that we Americans, like I said before, can modernize relations and import Cuban cigars again, because they don't import Cuban cigars currently, I don't think, because of the embargoes, but or the tariffs most likely. But yeah, I think that we all humans just need to come together. I think capitalism can work for everybody, not just some people in Washington D.C. or on Wall Street. So I think that Cuba is a very proud nation. We want to get too into it, but I think that Cuba is a strong people, and viva Che, viva Fidel, viva Castro. And yeah, I hope that Americans can improve relations with all different nations, as we try to unite on common principle for the human race. And yeah, I think that, because the thing is, the furthest I could be a socialist is a market socialist, because market socialists want a market, they want some private enterprise, but they want to have that socialist ideal. So like I said, I might visit Cuba someday and pay tribute to their nation. But I think that Cuba, because the thing is about Castro is that he wasn't the worst of the socialist dictators. He was actually very realistic. I mean, I wouldn't agree with him on the economy. I'd have more privatization, but he was a very strong leader. He was very firm. He didn't back down, and he didn't let America bully his nation. I can respect that. And I just hope that, because the thing is that their current President Diaz-Canel, I think that's how you say it, Diaz-Canel, the current president of Cuba, I think, is a very good leader. He's not perfect, but none of us are perfect, let's be honest. So I hope that you enjoyed this message. And then one last thing on Che Guevara is that Che Guevara was a very good revolutionary. He cared a lot about other people, especially in Africa. So, and in Ireland too. I gotta give him out to Ireland for his anti capitalist struggle in Ireland. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. People unite, and hopefully we can get the word out of distributism or welfare capitalism, market socialism, whatever you want to call it, so we can create a better world for everyone. All right, peace out.